So what's it been like for you going back to the college game?
Well, it's been exciting, just the vibe, the university, Coach Foster, and really the kids. And it's been exciting. And then the model that Coach talks about, discipline, respect, and enthusiasm. I'm having fun.
How much was Coach Bieniemy involved in you coming here? Obviously, you work together.
We worked together. Actually, I've known him. He was a running back for us at the Philadelphia Eagles when I was with Coach Reed. So that's back in 1999.
Wow.
So we go back there, and really, he's still doing some of the same things, pass protection, and that we did back then. And then Coach, and then I interviewed with Coach Foster.
What would you say are maybe some of the bigger differences coaching professionals versus coaching players who are hoping to be professionals?
Well, I think the nice thing here is that we're able to do it, and I think it's pretty fun. I never really thought about it. When you teach what drills you're going to do. I was showing them my guys at Philadelphia, at Buffalo, from Baltimore, and so we were showing them the pro guys doing the drills that we're going to do, that we've done in the past. So I think the guys had a lot of fun with that. But I think the nice thing here is that I get them earlier, and so they really haven't developed any bad habits, and so you can kind of start fresh. So as we're doing those drills, like we really did some of the drills that I've been doing since I was at Philadelphia today, and it was really fun because they really did a great job with the drills, and that's how you get better. The defensive guys that are giving the picture to the offensive guys really did a great job, and so I was kind of excited. Probably one of my better drill days today in my career.
How have you adjusted to kind of the recruiting game? Because that's obviously something that's changed a lot since you were last in college, but how's that worked out so far?
Well, you know what, when you think about it, what's cool, and it's different for me because I've been in the NFL for a long time, but these kids want to go to the NFL.
Right.
High school kids that are coming to college want to go to the NFL. Well, I've coached in the NFL for 28 years, so what better place to come than UCLA to learn from somebody that's been in the NFL? Coach Bieniemy and myself, we're teaching it just like the way we taught it in the NFL, and we both had some success. So I think this is a great place to come if you want to go to the NFL and get a great education. I mean, just being real. I mean, truthfully.
Tomorrow night's the Friday Night Lights. Hopefully a lot of people come. What do you want to show people about UCLA football?
Well, I think the excitement. I think the way we finish and the discipline. I think those are some of the things that we want to show our offense, okay, how we're going to, what are some of the things that we're going to do. And just excited. It's really exciting just being around the young kids and being able to teach them. And then, they say, appreciate you, coach, and thank you, coach. And then, and then they call you coach. I'm used to being called Juan, and so it's really been a great, it's really been exciting for me,
So they're more respectful, or like?
Well, I
eager?
think
Like,
no,
what do you think
I
that
think
is?
no, I think here in the NFL, man, is if you know what you're doing and you can teach, they respect you. So I've been respected up there. So, and not really that so much is that, just the youth, the smiles, just looking at the kids, it's like it's pretty cool. It's almost like they're my kids, It's hard to explain, but I think y'all know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What's been your assessment of the line so far, particularly the starting unit right now?
Well, I think once we, through the pads, I think the kids work hard. We're working on the fundamentals part, and I think, you don't really find that out until we start playing. But I think the thing that I've noticed is that they work really hard, and when you work hard, good things happen, even in life. And then the thing that we're trying to teach is for them to be willing to sacrifice. And then we don't have enough time to offensive line play is about consistency. And the only way you get consistency is by doing it over and over and over to get well. And so the thing with that is we don't have that kind of time. So just teaching them to do some of the drills on their own when they have time so that they can master the drill, then the drill passes over. And that's kind of what we've done. Even though they talk about the NFL, we probably have more time in the NFL than you do here, you know?
How much of that is individual consistency versus getting consistent with the unit of guys you're with and like knowing what the guy to your left or right is going to do?
Well, you know what? It's a good question because, when I went to Baltimore, I got to coach a guy named Marshall Yanda. All right, Marshall was an Iowa kid that bought into the technique that we're using here, but his biggest thing was always win your one-on-one. Even though it is a group effort, the first thing that you have to do, and I live by that model now, is if you win your one-on-one and you take care of your guy and everybody focuses on that, nothing else, Yes, you have to work with a guy next to you, but you got to take care of your job, which is when you're one-on-one. Then the group's going to be in pretty good shape. And that's what we're trying to teach the kids.
How would you describe your coaching philosophy, your style, when you're working with the linemen?
Well, I think it's, it seemed like to me as in college you do a lot of yelling. Well, in the NFL you do a lot of teaching. So to me it's hard for me to yell and teach and correct. My thing here, and for any of the young kids that come over here, is that, when you get beat, we have the solution. We have the answer to the problem. And to me, that's what's fun. I've been doing this for a long time. Then when a kid makes a mistake, you tell them, okay, here's what you did wrong. Here's how we're going to correct it. And as a teacher, you just not correct the bad thing, but you also talk about when they do it the right way, so everybody can see how it's being done the right way. So that, I'm having a great time, man. It's pretty cool,
Obviously, we're in the transfer portal season, which is probably something new to you as well. How much are you, checking that out and saying, hey, we could get X, Y, and Z, and really, maybe help us out with that?
Well, I think what's happened here, Coach has done a great job of bringing, a GM, assistant GM, and people like that. So what they do, so we can focus on practice and our guys and everything. They're the ones that are kind of, going through, and then they give us names of these guys, and then you look at them and see if they want to come and things like that. You're right. It's still kind of new for me.
Yeah.
My job, I'm focused on my guys and getting my guys better. Once they come here, then they become our guys too. But right now, I'm just worried on getting my guys better.
What did you see? Did you go back and look at a lot of film of last year's offensive line, and what did you see when you did?
Well, I think all we want to do is we just want to continue to get better, just like in the NFL. What I did is I kind of evaluate every kid and say, okay, Coach Reed, I know you all heard of Andy Reid. I was with Andy Reid for 14 years, and what he taught me is that you never come in when you evaluate a kid. You never come in and say he can't. It's always like, Coach, for this kid, we have to work this. I'm going to work on this. I'm going to work on this. I'm going to work on this. Today was a day like that. I saw some of the tapes. So some of the drill work that we did today was to correct some of the things that we need to get better to make them better as pass protectors. So, that's really what I did. I went through and looked at all the guys. Okay, this guy, I need to work this, and that. This guy, I need to work this, and that. And that's the way Andy Reid rolls. That's the way he taught me, and that's the way we're going to roll here.
Sam's the one newcomer in that first string unit. Everyone else is pretty much continuous from last year. What have you seen out of him so far at center?
You talk about heart. We watched their video on the SEALs. And the big thing that they talk about is not their size or what you have. It's about your heart. If I could say one thing about Sam, I can say he got a big heart. Period. And that kind of describes everything about the young man. Besides being very smart, he's got a big heart.
I know players and coaches have been all about competition this spring. So who do you think won today, offense or defense?
Well, I think, I'm going to say that we help each other get better, And I think the important thing that, as I've been through, in the NFL, you always want to make sure that the offense wins some, and you always got to make sure that the defense wins some. Because if you're taking turns winning and losing, then you got a pretty good squad. If one side's always winning, there's going to be a problem, So I think we won some, they won some, And the thing that coach is big on is, as a team, that we win the day. And I think that's what's really been exciting for me, the enthusiasm that I see coach and everybody have. And I've always been fired up anyway. So, but it's kind of fun to see that. It's kind of exciting.
You're used to linemen performing at such a high level in the NFL. Is it hard at all to come down a level, because obviously they're still developing maybe a little bit more here at this level?
Well, I think that the way, and you can ask any of my players, Jason Peters, Marshall Yanda, Deion Dawkins, that when I started coaching with them, I started coaching them like if they were in college or they were in high school. So some of the fundamental techniques that we use are no different than I taught, in Division II when I first started, that I'm going to teach here. It's all still about fundamentals. And that's how you get better. Fundamentals help you get more consistent. More consistency makes you a better player. So you say that, those guys, and they'll tell you themselves, they came out here, they put a smile because they're doing this. They did the same drills, and that made them better.
How have you seen the position or like the O-line just change over time? Like,
Well, you know, that's a good question because I broke in the league 28 years ago, you know, and I would probably say that the difference probably is that better athletes, you know, and I think everybody just, you know, is no different than track times, how they gotten better, or basketball, have they gotten taller, you know, everybody just, you know, becoming a better athlete really at every position. And I think that's why the line play is so special because, you know, linemen are not going to be as athletic as the defensive guys, you know. That's why it's important to be able to stay square and the way you use your hands and the discipline of your technique. That's why it's kind of fun being that line coach.
Awesome.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Appreciate it so